This makes absolutely no sense at all. It's pretty ridiculous, and it gets more ridiculous if you think about it. That we are now in March, and there are regulation in Germany that you cannot cut down trees between March and September because it would be disturbing and bad for the animals in the forest. So you can't cut down a tree anyway.
So the sentiment is that sales aren't down. The Tesla people are buying battery electric vehicle. This means the Tesla Gigafactory should be there. They should produce the $25,000 car when it's online. I think at first it will be online, maybe in Texas, then in Shanghai. They even might be there first, then in Mexico, and then in Europe. Let's see how long the protests leave there. What's your opinion on that? Because of course we have those great people that are protesting also in the forests and living in those tree houses there, the eco protesters. And as we might assume, we already assume that they might produce the $25,000 car there. So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, so two things here. So Andre Theory said it quite nicely that he was asked about, in terms of the extension of Giga-Berlin, is the 25K vehicle coming there? And you could read in between the lines from his answer. So he didn't answer that really, but you could read in between the lines and from how he acted that he doesn't know. So there is no decision made yet, which would be very typical, I believe.
Yeah.
There are information I have, which I won't disclose here, about the 25K model, which are exciting.
Please don't do it. Yeah. Please don't do it. Yeah.
No, I don't. So I have a rule, and if people ask me not to disclose information, it never comes over my lips or my fingers. So I will never disclose that. But what I can say, it's positive. And I believe, as you believe, there's no doubt that the 25K vehicle will sooner or later come to Europe. Maybe imported.
That's not a secret. That's so sensible. I mean, this is the market for this kind of vehicle category.
I mean, this is a market for smaller cars. And a lot of people here just can't afford around 20K anyway. So therefore, a 25K vehicle makes totally sense. And Elon knows that. I mean, this is clear. It's just a question of the sequence, as you said. We're first, and we know it will be first in Austin. And that makes a ton of sense because you have all the top engineers there. You have all decision makers there at one spot, and they can sort it out quickly and make sure the unbox process is working nicely, which is a requirement for the 25K vehicle. And then to expand the production to Mexico is also a good thing because Mexico is a new build-up. You could fairly claim that Giga-Berlin will be an expansion of the factory and a new build-up too. But Giga-Berlin, the area is not big enough. So it's the total capacity was once around 2 million, and I think they are still trying to get there. There's still a lot of space there, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But we will see. I mean, we know that the unbox process will also save a lot of space in terms of factory floor, which is a good thing. But yeah, so you have this German guy sitting in the trees and trying to avoid that. And you know what? They are demonstrating actually against the kindergarten. So think about that. In that area true. Where they are sitting, the kindergarten is for the employees of Tesla supposed to be built. So this makes absolutely no sense at all. It's pretty ridiculous. And it gets more ridiculous if you think about it, that we are now in March, and there are regulation in Germany that you cannot cut down trees between March and September because it would be disturbing and bad for the animals in the forest. So you can't cut down a tree anyway. So if they would have done that protest in February, I would have understood that, they've been trying to avoid making sure Tesla cannot cut anything down in February.
Yeah.
The truth is, Tesla has already cut down enough forest to start the expansion. So this is just about the kindergarten now, and that's the second big joke here, and a train station, if I'm not mistaken, for the freight trains. So a logistics center for the freight trains, and freight train transport is the best thing you can do to reduce CO2 emissions, because it will save around, if I'm not mistaken, they talked about 1,000 trucks.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure what time frame, if we talk a day or week or whatever. So it's a huge amount of trucks you get off the road by having this train station working, but they can't build it because they have this guy sitting in the pine trees claiming that this is bad for the environment. You know, it's you cannot make that up. It's so ridiculous. It makes no sense. It's totally nuts. And I'm asking myself, is people really know what they are doing? And and after this arson attack from the volcano group, and now we are making the loop here. This group this group is called Robin Wood. I think it's UK based. I'm not sure. And they've been making the case of, well, you know, this was a bad attack, but it doesn't have anything to do with what we do here. So they are getting under pressure now, because the society in Germany is really siding with Tesla on this arson attack. And this is important to understand for everybody in the US and outside of Germany. The society is really, have a clear opinion that this is totally unacceptable. The government, the opposition, all say the same stuff.
Even the citizens that voted against Tesla, I cannot believe that they are on this side, because they are also very conservative type people. As I could recall, that I think people who are living there for a longer time in Grünheide, in the area, they voted against that. They are not for burning down electrical infrastructure that harms them, and also the nursing home that also was connected to the grid. So totally nuts what they did. And I think also for the group itself, for this whole protest also here, it's a net negative and a net positive for Tesla. Sorry that I interrupt as much, because what we can see here also on the picture here, which is pretty interesting, is this Antifa flag, and also the volcano group is also at least adjusted, or they claim to be Antifa as well. So this is not a good sign, or a good look for them. And what maybe you can tell the audience how the general public liked the climate activists that glued themselves to the pavement here in Europe, because I think that's
it's the same movement. You're right, same movement to a certain extent. So we have here in Germany these protesters, they call themselves Last Generation, if I'm not mistaken. And
also from the UK, they're also very active there, and all over Europe, and they have divisions, but
and their cause is not a bad one. I mean, they are trying to create attention on the climate disaster we are in. And if you know me, you know that I'm, drumming all day long about we should wake up and open our eyes about the problems we have and how fast everything is going and how disastrous and you name it. And I feel it in my property too. So it's really bad. And it's getting worse. So their cause is good, but their activities have been, for instance, going to museum and, throwing paint on a picture from some important painters to create media attention. They luckily used, I think, paint that is not harmful, but still you can question what kind of impact it really has. And then they've been gluing themselves on streets, on lights, on crosses, so that trucks and other people, ordinary people trying to drive to work, can't pass anymore. So with their hands, gluing them, which was always a challenge for the police to get them off. So long story short, I understand the motivation. I don't think that the way how they try to attract attention is creating what they are looking for, and that they really move the needle here. That's I believe not the right approach. And and they're meddling everything together. I've been once on one of the demonstrations, and you see flags about all and everything. And if you look at the pictures from the pine forest of Giga-Berlin, there are flags of Palestine there. And
so not shown here, but
you ask yourself, okay, fine, let's talk about the war in Gaza Strip and Hamas and all of that, but that's a different topic. What the heck has this to do with battery electric vehicles? So I really think they make a lot of stupid mistakes in bringing attention to about the environment. And again, these guys on the top of these tree houses, they can sit there until September if they like, the whole summer through, and have a good time in the pine forest because Tesla doesn't care. It's totally unimportant for them. So they can build their camp there. And there is a big, blowback from the activities this volcano group has done, because there's already a discussion about, for security and safety reasons, to eliminate this group from the forest. And I would totally support that, because this is a left-wing group. They are probably not dangerous like volcano group. Robin Wood is not known, as far as I know, to do anything criminal. But it's still a left-wing group, and they can be, infiltrated by other people too. And why should you allow something like that so close from Giga-Berlin? I mean, let's talk about what will happen now. All industry infrastructure environments will be protected better. There's already a law in discussion for a longer time that hopefully will be approved very soon, that is a law that mandates owners of factories to take care of the critical infrastructure more than before. And that has, of course, a huge impact also on the electricity lines throughout Germany too, and the transformators and you name it. You can claim, okay, why don't they do it already? Well, because it's costly. It costs a lot of money, and people just don't do something unless there's really a strong reason for that. Now they have that reason. And it won't be possible to protect all and everything, but at least you can try to do it. And they also can, even if they just put cameras somewhere, surveillance cameras, to make sure they have proof if something is happening, would help here. So I think there's a lot of effort for the entire automotive industry and the entire industry in Germany now to make sure they protect the infrastructure. So that will cost a lot of money, but it's needed for a variety of reasons.